Thank you very much. You get a gold star. Mr. Owens, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to congratulate all of you. This has been well overdue, this conversation. This is an area that we've had problems for decades, and we're now seeing the results of that. I was aware back in 2017 to see a report coming out of the Department of Education that 75% of the black boys in the state of California could not pass standard reading and writing tests. Now, unfortunately, as terrible as that news is, it kind of went over the head of most people. They weren't surprised. They just kind of figured that's the way it is. Well, now we're seeing across the country the power of the unions that led this demise of education and hopes in California was going across our country. So I think it's timely that we're doing this. I think now as the country is waking up, we do what we do best. We're going to win, get our kids back, give them a chance to really believe in the American dream. And I want to thank everyone here for your background, for your expertise, and for educating us in the American people. We're gonna get this taken care of. Ms. Pulsford, the cost of obtaining post-secondary credentials has nearly tripled the rate of inflation over the last 2 decades, forcing students to borrow for degrees without any guarantee that they will see a financial return for the time and money invested in the program. In your testimony, you mentioned institutions like students and taxpayers need to have skin in the game when it comes to student loans, such as requiring them to reimburse students and taxpayers for the share of the financial loss associated with non-repayment. How would this such requirement change incentives for colleges and universities when it comes to degree programs they offer and the prices they charge students? How would this improve the value proposition to post-secondary education?
Thank you for that question, Representative Owens. Fundamentally, I think if we believe that higher education is intended to be a path to opportunity and enable the economic and mobility of the students it serves, there are probably 2 parts to that equation. First and foremost, are institutions held accountable to providing and developing programs that actually map to workforce opportunities? That also, by the way, includes liberal education, whether it's in humanities or languages, et cetera. It's like you still have to design those in a way that you're also intending to increase the readiness of the graduates in those programs for the work. The other part of that equation is what is the investment we're actually making, asking students to make in that program. When you have institutions or you're expecting institutions, requiring institutions to have greater skin in the game, it's going to force greater accountability to designing and develop programs that are relevant to the future work and to also keep their costs in check. Right now, there's no check against the cost of delivering education, such that you've seen, as you pointed out, that the cost of attending a completed degree has risen at more than twice the rate of inflation for many decades now, since 1980. If the average cost of acquiring a bachelor's degree is nearing $100,000, there's, of the outcomes, the value, like how many jobs are worth it to make that kind of investment? And so we can certainly find ways by which we hold institutions to greater accountability for both the cost of completing the credential and that those credentials are relevant to the opportunity.
Thank you. Dr. Sullivan, I agree with the workforce system must do a better job of getting Americans off the sidelines, equipping them with the skills needed to succeed in today's economy. For more than 2 decades, Utah has integrated their workforce development system with other safety net programs to provide unemployed workers a streamlined way to access the support they need to secure a job. Can you discuss how strong regional and statewide coordination between workforce development and human services providers can improve outcomes for the individuals they serve? What are the updates on WIOA that are needed to lead more states to pursue innovative approaches to workforce planning and service delivery?
Sorry. Thank you for the question. I think the integration between services that are provided, oftentimes we provide the services to individuals that aren't necessarily under WIOA. They may fall under a separate portion of state government, a separate policy act, but the coordination has to be there, not just simply the agencies working together, but also data. While we continue to provide the privacy that is necessary, but also ensure that we're able to provide the benefits, the wraparound services that you heard the governor talk about a few minutes ago. But I think what we should focus on is to look back to see what students are doing as a result of some of the lack of coordination that is going on. Today, we may hear that enrollment is down in two-year colleges. The fact of the matter is enrollment is down in credit-enrolled programs. the traditional programs. Students are showing up at our doorstep in long lines because they want to be a part of a short-term workforce opportunity that provides that value proposition that you just heard from President Pulsifer. The value proposition that gets them into the workforce in a shortened period of time. We cannot sustain individuals for 4 years while they go through degree programs. They simply need the education and skills to get into the workforce, and then education becomes a little different than what we've seen in the past. It becomes iterative. Work and go to school and continue to grow that job path, perhaps through the baccalaureate degree or even graduate degrees, but you must start somewhere. I think the most important part is to ensure we get people into the economy.
Thank you once again and appreciate this conversation. Well overdue. Thank you so much.